Dr. Commissioner Cagle has a resolution. Go ahead, Commissioner.
Yes, Your Honor. We have a resolution today concerning the Uyghur people. It is spelled Uyghur, but it is pronounced Uyghur, or at least that's how I butchered the pronunciation. I may have the emphasis on the wrong syllable there. But in terms of the resolution, I'm going to read it, and we have three speakers who are here to assist and to talk on the matter. One is Hazrat Wushur, whose family is in a concentration camp that's Yassina Hat, whose family is also in a concentration camp, and Samara Hafez, who is part of the Minaret Foundation, who is here with regard to dealing with this. And Judge, I think that we also have several other groups that are tapping in today with regard to this resolution, because this is an important matter internationally. And with that, I'll read the resolution. Whereas the largest mass detention of people since the Holocaust is taking place in northwest corner of the People's Republic of China, with roughly 3 million from the Uyghur Muslim minority community forced into camps. Whereas the Uyghurs are used as slave labor, raped and sterilized, re-educated to Chinese government standards, barred from practicing their Muslim faith, and their culture systematically erased. Whereas the United States of America, through the Trump and Biden administrations, both have led the world in declaring these actions by the People's Republic of China's genocide and imposed sanctions. Whereas the nations of Canada, the Netherlands, the United Kingdom have followed the lead of the United States of America in recognizing the oppression and genocide of the Uyghur people. Whereas Harris County proudly boasts the most diverse community in the nation, including a large Muslim community which has been rising up in protest of this grave injustice. Now, therefore, be it resolved that Harris County Commissioners Court hereby stands in solidarity with the Uyghur people against this genocide, and therefore be it further resolved that the Harris County Commissioners Court urges our elected representatives in the legislature and in the Congress to encourage a change in course by the Chinese government that will end the eradication of the Uyghur people. And, Your Honor, with that, I think that we have both the good doctor to receive it, who may want to make comments, and three speakers.
Go ahead, Doctor.
I will pass to the three speakers, and I will make a conclusion remarks afterwards.
Okay, go ahead, Lucinda.
Yes, ma'am. We'll keep them on the line.
Could you please call up the speakers?
Yes, ma'am. Hazrat Wushur, go ahead, please.
Good morning. Can you guys hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Yes. Hi. Good morning again. My name is Ali Wushur. I was born in the western part of China, as we like to call it, East Turkistan. Even though the Chinese likes to use the name of Xinjiang, as it translates to New Frontier or a new addition to the mainland China. So I wanted to speak to you guys on behalf of my sister, particularly, and my mother. They're currently back home, not able to contact them for the past 2 years, to my own mother and my sister. And my sister's husband happens to be a doctor, has been in those so-called re-education camps for more than 2 years now. And he is a doctor, and he doesn't need to be re-educated. And we have not given any sort of explanation as to why was it taken in those internment camps. Again, we have no form of contact for my sister's husband. Again, we're living in the age of technology and freedom, and we take things for granted here in the States. But the simple phone call nowadays, it's tremendously difficult to get through with the Chinese government. So again, for my own personal story, I have not been able to speak to my own mother for over 2 years. Again, so I mean, I'm not exaggerating this. I'm not the only person that's going through this exact situation. There are thousands and thousands that are Uyghurs in diaspora, whether it be in the United States or in Europe or elsewhere, are facing a similar situations. That they were being systematically forced to give up our cultures, our religions, to be essentially assimilated with the Han Chinese. Our very basic human rights are been sort of taken away by the Chinese, the Communist Party. And again, and I want to really thank for the organizers and the commissioners to, recognizing the atrocities that are taking place in the northwestern part of the part of China. And again, I really want to extend my thanks and gratitude for the powers to be to take action against what's really going on. And again, as we said, in the western part of the country, the democracy, never shall this happen again. What happened to the Jews by the Nazis? And again, this is the same thing that's happening right now, not by the Nazis, by the CCP, the Chinese Communist Party. And again, we have thousands of cases, and I just wanted to bring my own personal case to the commissioners, to the elected officials, so they can hear my voice on behalf of the Houston Uyghur community. So I am the president of the Houston Uyghur community, and I just wanted to let you guys know that. Thank you very much. I know I'm out of time, but thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing that story. And our hearts really go out to your family, and we hope that this can help add to the attention that this issue deserves.
Thank you.
Nassim Ahat, go ahead, please.
Hi. Good morning. Thank you, Honorary Judge, Commissioner, Imam, and ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for providing me with this special opportunity to speak up and testify for my brother, who is currently held in China's concentration camp. So let me briefly introduce myself first. I was born in the northwestern part of China. I came to Texas in the year of 2000 as a graduate student. And since then, I have been living in Texas, currently living in Steve Tyler, Smith County in northeast Texas. Here, I would like to speak up and testify for my brother, whose name is Alim Ahat, and he's a well-established college professor of math and computer science, and also a successful businessman. I lost contact with my family and with my brother almost 4 years ago in early 2017. Ever since I have been unable to contact with anyone with my family, with my parents, with my brother, any of my extended family member, relative, anyone. So I lost contact with anyone inside the northwestern part of China for almost 4 years. And I haven't known the whereabouts of my family situation, anything yet, but only up to recently I was able to know by that overseas Uyghur human rights organizations claim that my brother, Alim Ahat, is in China's concentration camp. I believe that he is innocent. He's not even a political scientist or whatever. He just teaches math and computer science at the top level university in that region. And he's innocent. And he was just a college professor. And another reason is that in the past several years, in the early 2010, my brother and I collaborated with some of the American tech companies like Microsoft, Google, and Apple to collaborate with them to help them to do business in our region. And we also successfully translated, localized their technology product in our region to help our people to use the IT infrastructure or any computer or cell phone like this in our own language. And this way we helped our own people, and we also helped the American tech company to do business in our region. And I still, and he was held in China's concentration camp, and I still believe he is innocent. The Chinese government never produced any claim, any proofs that his mistake or any wrongdoing, and he was just taken to the concentration camp without any judicial process or anything. So
Thank
here
you.
I would like to take this opportunity to testify and protest against the inhuman actions the Chinese government done to my brother and my family and the millions of Uyghur people in that region.
Thank you, sir.
And
Your
I
time
read
is up.
the contents of this resolution, and I believe
So
that
I have to stop
resolution
you.
is
I'm
very
sorry. Your
important.
time is up.
Yeah.
But thank you. Are there
Yes,
any other
yes,
speakers,
yes.
Lucinda?
Yes, ma'am, there are.
Okay.
Hello?
Your time is up.
Samra Hafiz, go ahead, please.
All right, thank you so much. Good morning. My name is Samra Hafiz, and I am a policy analyst for the Minaret Foundation. I have been working on issues related to the Uyghur genocide for almost a good part of a year now. Currently in China, Uyghurs are subjected to horrific human rights conditions in which they have no freedom of movement, privacy, expression, or religion. Simple acts such as growing out a beard, wearing a hijab, or even traveling abroad to a select country can land them in internment camps in which they're subjected to psychological, sexual, physical, and mental torture, as well as brainwashing to believe that their religion is wrong and that being a Uyghur in itself is a crime. If they do manage to leave those internment camps, they're then subjected to forced labor in which they're forced to toil away to work and produce different types of products to benefit the Chinese government and to just boost the economy, in which they're basically exploited and have no payment. The passage of this resolution would mean a lot both to the Uyghur community and to the international community as a whole. Uyghurs across the country would know that we see them and that we acknowledge their struggle. And also the passage of this resolution would also display our support for Harris County's diverse communities, specifically our refugee and immigrant community. The passage of this resolution would also mean that we could potentially increase awareness and subsequently increase pressure in getting more people to know about this horrific ongoing genocide, as well as potentially putting a final stop to it. Thank you all so much for your time, and thank you so much for taking time out of your day to hear me out.
Thank you. Any other speakers on this item, Lucinda?
I can go back to Dr. Basim Hamid. Go ahead, sir.
Yes, please.
Yes, good morning again. So in these final days of Ramadan and in this moment, I hear the voices of my Uyghur brothers and sisters and their suffering. For too long, their voices have fallen on deaf ears in the interest of the trade and monetary interests. It felt like a significant turning point when the previous Secretary of State finally recognized what we all know to be genocide committed by the Chinese government. In my invocation, I mentioned a verse, وَأَحْسِنُوا إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ الْمُحْسِنِينَ, and do good. Truly, God loves the doers of good. And this is a great opportunity for the great Harris County to show for what it stands, for civil rights, for human rights, for what is right. And I urge you to pass this commission. I thank you, and I appreciate all what you've done. And hopefully this will be but a milestone in the path to establishing justice and to serving the humanity. Thank you all.
Thank you. Should we vote on the resolution, Commissioner?
Judge, I would probably make the motion that we vote on this. Judge, out of my faith tradition, there's a passage out of Micah that says that God calls upon us to do justice, love mercy, and walk humbly with our God. I think by passing this resolution, we will be seeking justice and loving mercy and treating God's fellow humans with the dignity and respect that they deserve. Thank you, Your Honor.
I would second that, Judge.
There's a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Commissioner Cagle. We stand with the Uyghur people. Thank you. Commissioner Garcia, I know.
A little context, there are a couple of different programs within disaster recovery or project